Be careful. This person is trying to kill you very badly. The name is. You never imagined that the shadow following you could carry such darkness. The world has a way of hiding danger in plain sight, and sometimes the most dangerous people are those whose names are spoken casually, yet whose intentions are lethal. God allows these moments of awareness to arrive not by chance, but as a warning, a divine alert to protect your life. Archangel Michael stands guard over you even before you realize the threat, preparing your spirit to confront what is hidden in the unseen. From the very first moment, you sensed unease. It was subtle at first, a hesitation in a greeting, a glance that lingered too long, an unnatural smile that didn't quite reach the eyes. Many would have dismissed it, calling it paranoia or overthinking. But your soul knew, and God whispered through your intuition, urging vigilance. There are people in this world whose hearts are wrapped in shadows, and they move quietly, planning in the dark while the unsuspecting remain blind. You may wonder why God allows such people near you. Why would He permit the proximity of someone whose intent is to harm? The answer lies in spiritual preparation. The danger you face is not meant to destroy you, but to awaken the strength and discernment that lie dormant within your heart. Archangel Michael, with his sword of divine truth, stands ready to cut through deception, to shield you from the unseen blows, and to guide you through peril unscathed. The name of the person is etched in your memory now. It carries weight, a dangerous energy that makes your chest tighten whenever you hear it. And yet, fear does not dominate your heart, because God's presence infuses you with courage. You realize that survival is not only physical but spiritual. To survive, you must trust in His plan, remain vigilant, and recognize the signs He sends through dreams, gut feelings, and sudden insights. It is terrifying to think that someone so close could harbor such destructive intentions. You may have laughed together, shared moments of vulnerability, or confided secrets that you thought were safe. And now, the revelation crashes into you like a storm. This person has been planning to end your life, to erase your existence in ways that seem unimaginable. And yet, God allows you to know, to prepare, to survive. Every whisper of intuition, every premonition, is a thread in the tapestry of your divine protection. You remember the nights lying awake, heart pounding, trying to make sense of fragmented memories and unsettling encounters. Each instance now takes on a new meaning, the careless comment, the unusual persistence, the unexplainable anger that flared for no reason. Archangel Michael reminds you that these are not coincidences, that God's hand is moving even in the chaos, guiding you toward clarity. He teaches you to trust your instincts, to act with caution, and to guard your life as a sacred gift. The warning is clear: be careful. This person is dangerous, their heart hardened, their intentions poisoned. But fear is not your weapon, faith is. You strengthen yourself with prayer, seeking God's protection, asking for guidance, and trusting that Archangel Michael and the angelic hosts are surrounding you with divine light. You begin to see the patterns of deception, the hidden traps, and the subtle movements designed to mislead. God opens your eyes, and suddenly, what seemed ordinary becomes illuminated with warning signs, revealing the hidden peril. Even as terror threatens to grip you, there is a strange calm, a reassurance that God has placed protective forces around you. You feel an unseen presence, a shield of spiritual armor, as Archangel Michael whispers to your soul, "Fear not. I am with you. Move carefully, but move forward. Survival is already written in your destiny." This is the first step in awakening your awareness, in preparing you for the coming confrontation, and in understanding that divine intervention is always near when danger approaches. Every step you take now is measured, every interaction is observed carefully. You no longer trust blindly, you rely on discernment, the spiritual sense God has gifted you. Your prayers become a lifeline, connecting you directly with divine protection. And in this connection, you find courage, the kind that cannot be shaken, the kind that allows you to navigate shadows without succumbing to panic. If this message is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to affirm your faith, and subscribe to stay spiritually guided and protected in every step of your life. The moment you realize the depth of the threat, your heart races, but your spirit begins to awaken. God allows fear to touch you, not to weaken you, but to strengthen the vigilance that will become your armor. The person whose name sends chills down your spine is moving with intent, but you are no longer blind. Archangel Michael stands as an invisible sentinel, his divine presence cutting through the shadows that once clouded your perception. Every instinct you felt before now takes shape as unmistakable signs. You cannot afford to ignore them, because survival demands alertness, clarity, and faith. You recall how ordinary life suddenly seemed filled with hints that you had overlooked. The casual remarks, the unexpected appearances, the unnatural attention, all of it now aligns into a pattern, a roadmap to a danger that is very real. God allows you to see these signs so that you may act, so that your steps may be guided with precision. Prayer becomes more than a routine, it transforms into a shield, a conversation with the divine where you seek wisdom, protection, and courage. Every whispered plea for safety is met with reassurance that Archangel Michael is beside you, that your life is held in the hands of those who serve God's purpose. The gravity of betrayal becomes evident. It is not just a physical threat, it is spiritual, emotional, and psychological. The person has planned meticulously, hiding their malice behind smiles and false concern. Every gesture, every word, is a thread in a web designed to ensnare you. But your awareness now pierces the illusion. You remember how God has always prepared you for trials, how past pain, heartbreak, and struggle were rehearsals for moments such as this. Your soul knows that survival is not a matter of luck but of divine guidance and readiness. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world sleeps, you feel the presence of angels more vividly. They whisper strategies of caution, illuminate the paths to safety, and remind you that you are never alone. Archangel Michael's sword of protection glows unseen, cutting through spiritual danger, shielding your mind, body, and soul. Each prayer strengthens the invisible armor around you, each act of vigilance becomes a barrier against the evil that seeks to harm you. God is teaching you to trust beyond what eyes can see, to rely on the divine signals that steer you away from peril. The name of the person lingers in your mind, but instead of panic, a resolve begins to grow. You understand that knowing the enemy is the first step in surviving their attack. This awareness allows you to plan, to fortify yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically. You begin to examine every connection, every conversation, and every encounter, filtering them through the lens of God's wisdom. Discernment becomes your most powerful tool. You pray for insight, asking God to reveal the truth behind every masked intention. And then you remember, God has never left you unguarded. Every trial, every shadow, has been met with guidance, with divine intervention. Archangel Michael has been there in quiet whispers, in gut feelings, in dreams that seemed nonsensical at the time but now reveal themselves as warnings. The divine is always working behind the veil, ensuring that your steps are measured, that danger can be avoided, and that your faith remains unshaken even in the face of mortal threats. As the day unfolds, you take action without haste. Each move is calculated, each interaction carefully observed, and each environment assessed for safety. You begin to notice the subtle signs of protection, doors opening at the right moment, encounters that divert potential harm, the presence of people who unknowingly safeguard your path. God's orchestration is undeniable, and your faith deepens. You feel the angel's wings surrounding you, Archangel Michael's presence steadying your heart, and the assurance that evil, no matter how meticulously planned, cannot overcome divine will. The challenge ahead is immense, but God equips you with more than fear or intuition. You are given courage, clarity, and divine timing. Every step taken in awareness brings you closer to safety, every prayer becomes a lifeline, every act of faith fortifies your soul. You begin to understand that survival is not merely escaping harm, it is walking through life with discernment, guided by God, guarded by angels, and strengthened by Archangel Michael's unwavering vigilance. Even when shadows loom, even when the danger seems immediate, the divine light illuminates the path. You feel a deep spiritual strength growing within, a certainty that no matter how deadly the intention, God's protection is greater. You realize that every moment of fear can be transformed into an opportunity to fortify your faith, sharpen your senses, and embrace the spiritual guidance that surrounds you. If your heart is resonating with this guidance, take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to affirm your trust in God's protection, and subscribe to receive divine messages that guide you through every trial of life. The sense of danger becomes sharper now. Every heartbeat seems to echo a warning, every shadow seems heavier, and your spirit refuses to be lulled into false security. God's guidance becomes more pronounced in moments like this, as He aligns circumstances to keep you aware and alert. Archangel Michael, the protector of the faithful, stands with you, unseen but profoundly present, his divine sword ready to cut through the lies, the traps, and the deadly intentions directed toward you. Even though fear seeks to anchor itself in your mind, faith becomes your strongest weapon. You start to see the patterns of deceit clearly. The person, whose name you now fear to even whisper, is more cunning than you could have imagined. Every smile they gave, every kind word they spoke, was a calculated move, a step in their plan to cause you harm. But God, in His infinite wisdom, allows you to perceive the truth before calamity strikes. You begin to notice the subtle signals, the glances that betray hidden motives, the words that carry double meanings, the small manipulations that, when pieced together, form a frightening mosaic of intent. Archangel Michael guides your understanding, giving you the discernment needed to separate illusion from reality. Your nights are restless, filled with vivid dreams that feel like warnings. You see events that have not yet occurred, fragments of conversations, glimpses of danger that you must interpret. God communicates with the soul in many ways, and dreams are among his most powerful tools. Each time you wake in the darkness, heart racing, you pray, not only for safety but for clarity, for the courage to act decisively. The angels surround you in invisible formation, reinforcing the divine shield that protects your body, mind, and spirit. Every encounter in daily life is now viewed through the lens of divine awareness. Casual greetings, unexpected meetings, even mundane exchanges carry potential signals. You learn to act cautiously, guided by a combination of instinct and prayer, trusting that God's wisdom supersedes human understanding. The person plotting against you does not see the invisible protection enveloping your life, nor the constant vigilance of Archangel Michael standing at your side. You are not alone, and this knowledge becomes a source of immense strength. The betrayal, the hidden malice, could have broken a weaker spirit, yet you feel a strange empowerment. God uses these trials not to punish, but to fortify. You remember past experiences where pain, heartbreak, and deception prepared you for moments just like this. You realize that every lesson, every scar, every test of patience and endurance, has been orchestrated by divine will to prepare you for survival in a world where danger often hides behind familiarity. Now, action becomes necessary. Caution alone is not enough. You plan, you observe, you align your movements with divine timing. Even in mundane tasks, God provides subtle guidance, paths clear themselves, opportunities to avoid harm appear unexpectedly, and seemingly random events converge in your favor. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that your perception is heightened, that danger is recognized before it manifests, and that every step is taken under divine protection. The person attempting to harm you is relentless, yet their efforts are futile against God's plan. Every trap set, every scheme devised, is intercepted by divine intervention. You may not see it directly, but the outcomes of their malicious actions are constantly redirected, preserving your life in ways that feel miraculous. Prayer becomes a lifeline, a connection to the divine power that governs both fate and protection. Each word spoken in devotion strengthens your shield, enhances your discernment, and instills courage that transcends fear. Even in moments of apparent calm, vigilance is required. The danger is real, but so is God's protection. Archangel Michael whispers strategies to your heart, teaches you patience, and reminds you that even the darkest plans cannot succeed against those under divine care. You understand that survival is not merely about avoiding death, it is about walking a path illuminated by faith, fortified by divine guidance, and strengthened by the knowledge that God and His angels are working tirelessly on your behalf. The more aware you become, the stronger you feel. Fear transforms into focused alertness, anxiety becomes vigilance, and uncertainty is replaced by faith. You recognize that God's timing is perfect, that every obstacle, every warning, every whisper of danger, is a part of a divine plan designed to preserve your life, protect your spirit, and ensure that the evil intent surrounding you does not prevail. If this part of your journey resonates with you, take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to affirm your faith and trust in God's protection, and subscribe to receive continued guidance and spiritual support in navigating life's unseen dangers. The sense of danger intensifies, and every step you take is measured with extreme caution. God's whispers become clearer, guiding you through shadows you cannot yet fully see. Archangel Michael stands beside you, an invisible sentinel, His presence a fortress around your spirit. You may feel alone in the world, but in truth, you are never without divine protection. The person who seeks to harm you moves in secrecy, but God illuminates the path ahead, revealing subtle signs that guide you away from their deadly intent. It begins with the smallest details: a door that opens at the right time, an unexpected delay that keeps you safe, a message received that changes your route. These are not coincidences, they are divine interventions. Each moment reminds you that God and His angels are orchestrating your safety, even when the threat seems immediate and overwhelming. Archangel Michael's guidance sharpens your perception, teaching you to recognize patterns, to anticipate danger, and to trust your instincts when your mind questions reality. The person's intentions are clear, but their awareness of your divine protection is non-existent. They believe their plans are hidden, their actions untraceable, and their malice unstoppable. Yet, each attempt to harm you is thwarted in unseen ways. God works in layers beyond human comprehension, and you are the recipient of His meticulous protection. Every prayer strengthens the shield around you, every act of vigilance reinforces your safety, and every moment of faith deepens your spiritual resilience. You recall moments when you brushed off your intuition, when warnings seemed insignificant. Now, clarity emerges. The seemingly trivial events, casual remarks, fleeting glances, unusual behaviors, now form a pattern that reveals the scope of danger. Archangel Michael's guidance turns these observations into insight. You understand that knowledge alone is not enough, action must be taken, but always in alignment with divine timing. The enemy cannot succeed when your every step is in harmony with God's will. Your nights are restless, filled with dreams and visions that feel both vivid and prophetic. You see potential outcomes, fragments of future encounters, and possible threats that might arise. God communicates with the soul in ways that defy logic, and these dreams are a form of preparation, equipping you to navigate the peril surrounding you. Every awakening brings a sense of renewed vigilance, a reminder that survival depends on awareness, prayer, and spiritual alignment. The person plotting against you is cunning, relentless, and patient, but they cannot penetrate the divine barrier surrounding your life. Archangel Michael moves unseen, clearing the path, neutralizing threats before they manifest, and reminding you that the battle is not yours alone, it belongs to God. Your role is to remain alert, to trust in His guidance, and to act with discernment and faith. Each prayer, each moment of spiritual reflection, fortifies your defenses, making you impervious to the evil schemes arrayed against you. Even in moments of uncertainty, divine reassurance fills your heart. You feel a subtle warmth, a protective presence that calms your fears and strengthens your resolve. God's plan is unfolding, and you begin to understand that every challenge, every shadow, every hidden knife aimed at your life is part of a spiritual lesson. Through this trial, your faith grows, your awareness sharpens, and your spirit becomes fortified with divine courage that cannot be shaken. You begin to take concrete steps, guided by God's wisdom. Every decision is informed by prayer, every movement measured with caution, and every interaction filtered through discernment. The person attempting to harm you remains unaware of the invisible fortress surrounding you. Archangel Michael ensures that your awareness is heightened, that danger is recognized before it manifests, and that each path you take leads you closer to safety. The divine shield is undeniable, even when danger appears immediate. You feel the angel's wings encircling you, the strength of Archangel Michael fortifying your resolve, and the presence of God calming your mind. Fear no longer dominates your thoughts, faith replaces it, creating a clarity that allows you to navigate peril with wisdom, courage, and divine guidance. You realize that the threat, no matter how severe, cannot overcome the protection granted by God and His angels. If this part strengthens your faith and heightens your awareness, take a moment to like this video, comment Amen to affirm your trust in God's protection, and subscribe to continue receiving divine guidance in every area of your life. The tension in the air grows heavier with every passing moment. You can feel the invisible weight of the threat, a shadow lingering just beyond perception, yet its presence is undeniable. God allows this awareness to sharpen your senses, to strengthen your vigilance, and to remind you that survival is a combination of divine protection and conscious discernment. Archangel Michael is beside you, his unseen sword ready to intercept any attack, his presence infusing courage and clarity into your heart. You begin to notice the subtleties you once overlooked, the calculated movements, the deceptive smiles, the manipulations hidden beneath seemingly innocent words. Every action of the person targeting you is meticulously planned, but God's guidance allows you to anticipate their schemes, to navigate around danger, and to protect not only your life but your peace of mind. Each prayer becomes a beacon, each act of faith reinforces your spiritual shield, and every moment of awareness transforms fear into strength. Your intuition grows sharper. You sense traps before they are set, recognize deceit before it reaches you, and act with measured precision in alignment with divine timing. The person attempting to harm you is relentless, but they cannot overcome the protection God has provided. Archangel Michael guides your instincts, illuminating paths that are safe, alerting you to hidden risks, and strengthening your resolve to remain calm and focused despite the threat. Nighttime becomes a period of reflection, prayer, and preparation. Dreams bring guidance, showing fragments of events that might unfold, revealing opportunities to avoid harm, and warning you of choices that could lead to danger. God communicates through these visions, reminding you that even when the enemy seems invisible, divine intervention is always at work. You awaken each day with renewed awareness, a sharpened mind, and an unwavering connection to the spiritual forces that guard your life. The knowledge of the person's malicious intent could easily overwhelm anyone, but instead, you feel empowered. God transforms your fear into vigilance, your anxiety into focus, and your uncertainty into trust. Every step is deliberate, every decision informed by prayer, and every interaction filtered through discernment. You recognize that survival is not about reacting blindly but about acting with divine wisdom and clarity. Even as danger surrounds you, subtle signs of protection emerge. People who unknowingly shield you, opportunities that divert harm, and circumstances that align to prevent danger, all orchestrated by God. Archangel Michael ensures that your path remains clear, your steps guided, and your heart reassured. You are learning to trust in the unseen, to rely on divine signals, and to understand that no malicious intent can overpower the protective hand of God. The person plotting against you believes themselves to be in control, but they are unaware of the spiritual forces aligned to preserve your life. Every plan they make, every trap they set, is intercepted before it can manifest. You realize that the threat is not only a test of survival but also a lesson in faith, vigilance, and divine reliance. God is teaching you that your life is sacred, that your spirit is protected, and that no force of evil can overcome the alignment of heaven and your destiny. With each passing moment, your confidence grows. Fear no longer dominates your heart. Instead, faith and awareness guide you. You act with precision, observing the world through the lens of divine insight. Archangel Michael's presence becomes a constant source of strength, reminding you that God's protection is unwavering, that every step is guided, and that no harm can reach you without divine allowance. The path ahead is still fraught with danger, but you walk it with courage, prayer, and vigilance. You understand that survival is not simply about avoiding death but about navigating life with spiritual clarity, recognizing hidden threats, and trusting fully in God's guidance. Each act of faith, each prayer, and each moment of vigilance strengthens your connection to the divine, fortifying both your body and soul against those who wish you harm. If this part inspires you to remain vigilant and strengthens your faith, take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to affirm your trust in God's protection, and subscribe to stay spiritually guided through life's hidden dangers. The danger has been relentless, and yet, you have survived. Every step, every decision, every prayer has brought you closer to safety. Now, God prepares to reveal the path forward, the way out of fear, sorrow, and the deadly intentions that once surrounded you. Archangel Michael stands at the forefront, his divine sword shining like a beacon, guiding your spirit through darkness into the light of protection, peace, and ultimate healing. As the weight of fear begins to lift, you realize that every trial, every moment of terror, was never meant to destroy you. God allowed these experiences to awaken your inner strength, to sharpen your discernment, and to prepare your heart for a life full of divine blessings. The person who sought to harm you now stands powerless against the protection that God and His angels have placed around you. Their malice cannot touch you, their schemes cannot succeed, and their darkness is rendered futile by the light of divine intervention. You feel a warmth enveloping your heart, a calm that penetrates every fiber of your being. God is present in ways that words cannot fully capture. Archangel Michael whispers courage, reminding you that you are never alone, that the unseen armies of heaven are protecting your life, and that divine guidance will always illuminate the safest path. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, and every prayer whispered in fear now transforms into a reservoir of spiritual strength. The protection is not merely physical, it is spiritual, emotional, and mental. God teaches you to see beyond the immediate threat, to recognize the subtle signs of danger, and to rely on divine guidance rather than human perception alone. Your intuition becomes a powerful tool, sharpened by the prayers, by the angels' whispers, and by the unwavering presence of Archangel Michael. Every heartbeat carries reassurance: you are alive, you are protected, and your life has been preserved for a higher purpose. God's blessings begin to flow into your life in ways that are profound and transformative. Health, strength, and vitality return, as though every moment of stress and fear had been a cleansing process for your spirit. Wealth, abundance, and opportunities unfold, guided by divine timing, bringing stability and provision into your life. Healing flows to every corner of your being. Mental scars, emotional wounds, and spiritual battles are resolved as God and Archangel Michael intervene directly to restore balance and peace. You feel grace settling over your life, a quiet, undeniable affirmation that the trials you faced were part of a divine design. Your sorrows are ending, the shadows that once threatened to overwhelm you are receding. Every plan, every intention, and every blessing is being realigned according to God's perfect will. Archangel Michael surrounds you with light, revealing the path ahead clearly, and angels accompany your journey, ensuring that no hidden danger can disturb the peace that is now being restored. The lesson becomes clear: survival is not simply about evading harm, it is about walking under divine protection, learning discernment, and trusting fully in God's timing. The person who once sought to kill you now stands as a reminder of what faith and vigilance, guided by the divine, can overcome. You are no longer prey to fear or manipulation, you are a child of God, shielded by angels, and guided by His infinite wisdom. As you step forward into this new chapter, health flows into your body, abundance into your life, and clarity into your mind. Healing, peace, and divine favor become constant companions. Your past trials, though painful, have prepared you for a life filled with blessings, opportunities, and spiritual growth. The threats that once loomed over you are gone, replaced by the unmistakable presence of God, the guidance of Archangel Michael, and the support of angelic forces that now move openly around your life. This is your moment of triumph, not just over the physical dangers, but over fear, sorrow, and betrayal. Every step now resonates with faith, every breath affirms divine protection, and every heartbeat reminds you that God's plan has always been to keep you safe and lead you to abundance. You are restored, renewed, and empowered, a living testament to the protective power of divine intervention. Take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to declare your gratitude for God's protection, and subscribe to continue receiving guidance, blessings, and spiritual support in every aspect of your life. Your life is now a reflection of divine will, guarded by Archangel Michael, illuminated by God's light, and surrounded by the angels who ensure that no harm can come near you again. Rejoice in this victory, embrace the blessings, and walk forward with courage, faith, and unstoppable divine protection. As the shadows of danger begin to fade, a new awareness rises within you. The tension that once gripped your heart slowly transforms into clarity and strength. God's presence becomes more tangible, a warm light wrapping around your soul, signaling that the trials you faced were never meant to break you but to prepare you for something far greater. Archangel Michael stands with you, his wings invisible yet powerfully protective, ensuring that every path you take from this moment is free from harm. You begin to see the pieces of your life aligning. Where once there was fear, there is now courage. Where once there was uncertainty, there is divine clarity. God has not only protected you from those who sought your destruction but is now preparing to pour blessings into your life. Every prayer whispered in fear and desperation is now met with assurance, and every tear shed has been transformed into a wellspring of spiritual strength. Health begins to flow into your body in a steady, restorative wave. Pain, fatigue, and illness that may have lingered as reminders of stress and fear are now replaced with vitality. Your mind clears, your heart strengthens, and your spirit rises above the challenges that once threatened to consume you. Archangel Michael's presence reinforces this renewal, whispering courage, focus, and divine guidance into your consciousness at every moment. Abundance begins to manifest in your life in ways that are profound and tangible. Opportunities, resources, and support that seemed distant or inaccessible now arrive at the right moment, perfectly timed according to God's will. Wealth, not just in material terms but in blessings of wisdom, insight, and spiritual growth, becomes part of your reality. You realize that the trials you endured were shaping not just your survival but your capacity to receive and handle these divine gifts. Healing reaches deep into the emotional and spiritual layers of your being. The betrayal, fear, and pain that once weighed heavily on your soul begin to dissolve under God's loving gaze. Archangel Michael guides you in releasing any lingering resentment, fear, or doubt. You feel your spirit rising, untethered from the shadows of the past, free to embrace the divine light and protection that surrounds you. Every step you take is now guided by faith, and every action is empowered by the presence of God and His angels. Grace settles over your life like a gentle but unstoppable river. The sorrows that once seemed endless are lifted. The invisible chains of fear and anxiety are broken. Your path is illuminated, and you can see the opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your divine purpose. The person who once threatened you now has no power over your peace or your destiny. You are fully protected, fully empowered, and fully blessed. God's voice resonates within your soul, assuring you that every hardship, every fear, every moment of doubt was part of a divine plan to prepare you for this season of blessing. You understand that survival was only the beginning. Now, you are moving into a period of healing, abundance, and spiritual elevation. Archangel Michael stands guard not just against visible threats but against any spiritual or emotional obstacles that could disrupt your divine progress. The feeling of safety is accompanied by profound gratitude. You recognize the unseen efforts of angels who moved around your life to protect you, the divine timing that ensured your survival, and the power of faith that allowed you to endure. Every heartbeat is a reminder that God's protection is absolute, and that no force, human or otherwise, can overcome His will. As you step forward into this new chapter, blessings pour into every area of your life: health, strength, abundance, healing, grace, and peace. You are fully restored, empowered, and aligned with the divine. Your life now reflects the protection, love, and guidance of God and Archangel Michael, and you move with confidence, faith, and unstoppable spiritual power. Take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to affirm your faith and gratitude, and subscribe to continue receiving God's guidance and blessings in every step of your life. The air feels lighter now, as if every shadow that once threatened your life has been dispelled by a divine light. You realize that the danger you faced was never permanent, never meant to claim you, because God's plan always includes protection, restoration, and ultimate blessing. Archangel Michael stands beside you, an unwavering sentinel, his sword and presence ensuring that every step you take from this moment forward is safe, guided, and aligned with divine purpose. Your spirit feels renewed in ways that surpass mere survival. Where there was fear, there is now profound courage. Where there was pain, there is deep healing. Where there was doubt, there is unwavering faith. God has transformed your trials into triumph, your nights of anxiety into moments of clarity, and your moments of fear into eternal lessons of divine protection. The person who once sought to harm you now has no power over your life, because your life is cradled in the hands of the Almighty. Health, vitality, and energy flow into your body like a steady, rejuvenating river. Fatigue, illness, and tension dissolve, replaced by a profound strength that allows you to move confidently and purposefully. Your mind clears, your emotions stabilize, and your soul is illuminated with divine light. Archangel Michael ensures that this restoration is complete, guarding you not only from physical danger but from spiritual or emotional disturbance that could compromise your peace. Abundance arrives in every form. Opportunities for wealth, growth, and personal development align perfectly, as if orchestrated by God Himself. Resources appear at the right moment, relationships shift to support your highest good, and doors open where previously there were walls. Every blessing is timed with divine precision, teaching you that patience, faith, and trust in God's plan bring rewards far beyond human expectation. Healing reaches every corner of your being. The betrayals, fears, and sorrows that once weighed heavily upon you now dissolve under the presence of God and His angels. Archangel Michael guides you in releasing residual pain, fear, and resentment, ensuring that your heart is free and unburdened. You feel a profound sense of inner peace, a serenity that comes from knowing that God's protection is complete, unwavering, and eternal. Grace flows abundantly into your life. Every challenge you faced has been replaced with clarity, opportunity, and spiritual elevation. Your path is illuminated, every step guided by divine wisdom, and every choice supported by heavenly intervention. The person who once sought your harm is powerless, a reminder that no malevolent intention can overcome God's protection or the guidance of Archangel Michael. The blessings are holistic: health to strengthen your body, abundance to secure your resources, healing to mend emotional and spiritual wounds, grace to enhance your connection with God, and peace to stabilize your mind and heart. You are fully restored, fully protected, and fully empowered. Your life now radiates divine light, reflecting the care, guidance, and protection of God and His angels. As you move forward, every step resonates with confidence, faith, and assurance. No threat can approach you without divine allowance, and no shadow can overshadow your path. Archangel Michael and the host of angels surrounding you ensure that every part of your life aligns with divine intention. You are empowered to live boldly, with clarity, protection, and unstoppable spiritual strength. Take a moment to like this video, comment "Amen" to celebrate God's blessings in your life, and subscribe to remain guided, protected, and spiritually aligned in every journey ahead. Your life now embodies divine protection, endless blessings, and unwavering peace. God and Archangel Michael have led you from danger to safety, from fear to courage, and from sorrow to joy. Walk forward with faith, embrace the abundance that surrounds you, and trust that no harm can touch you again.